On July 16, 1969, NASA executed the greatest hoax in history. Although NASA had several years to perfect this hoax, there are literally hundreds of mistakes that NASA and the astronauts made. There is no way that NASA could have anticipated that technology 44 years later would be able to detect these errors. In this short documentary, there isn't enough time to show even a tiny fraction of the fraud that has been committed against the American people and the world. Presented here are the most obvious examples of the hoax. Here we see the American flag appearing to flap in the breeze. However, the moon has no atmosphere and no air to make it flap. The host debunkers say that the flag is moving because the astronaut is twisting the flag, which is obviously not the case. In any event, here we can clearly see the flag move after the astronaut rushes past it. Notice the height of both the shadows of the astronaut. Here's a demonstration showing a shadow getting smaller as the subject gets further away from the artificial light source. Here we have non-parallel shadows, again impossible without two light sources.
Down a half. 6 forward. 30 seconds.
Notice how the perspective of the grounded Surveyor 3 changes as the camera moves around it. The LEM didn't have that capability.
There are literally dozens of photos and videos direct from NASA that show the exact same background pictures, often on different days and even on different missions. Here are two photos which demonstrate the fake background. Notice the defining line between the foreground and the background. Here's how it is done. Now look again. In this scene, we can see the obvious use of wires lifting the astronaut up. Here it is again. Here's a picture of the LEM immediately after landing on the moon. This is an artist's rendering from NASA of the LEM landing on the moon. Notice there's not a speck of dust on the feet of the lunar lander. No crater, no burn marks, and the moon's surface is undisturbed. Here we have President Nixon telling Neil Armstrong how proud of him he was as Neil drops his head in shame.
And put your hand on the Bible. Swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Cyril, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Really? Well, no, it's a real Bible. You have the opportunity to have $5,000.
The meeting is not open.
Well, you have $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon.
Please
I have
give
the
it to
tape.
charity.
Given the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you.
Well, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get...
I'm heading out. I appreciate it.
And get the hell out of the house.
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Whack, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself.
Away from me.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
It's our privilege today to share with you some of the details of that final month of July that was certainly the highlight for the three of us. The flight, as you know, started promptly. And I think that was characteristic of all the events of the flight. The Saturn gave us one magnificent ride, both into Earth orbit and on a trajectory to the moon.